guys are ridiculous. These guys are ridiculous.
Now, how about them damn Celtics?
And we are back with another episode of How About Them Celtics. Sam and I are here recording on Wednesday, November 29th, in between games for the Celtics. They just advanced in the in-season tournament with a win over the Bulls, a game which we talked about in our podcast yesterday. It's a 20-minute video podcast on Spotify and audio platforms. If you want our thoughts on the Bulls game, go listen to that. Check that out. That's where all our thoughts are. Some housekeeping things just at the start. Spotify Wrap dropped today, and I just wanted to shout out It's Gear, longtime listener to the show. He sent me his Spotify Wrap, and he was we're the top podcast for him. So just legend, It's Gear. We just wanted to say thank you.
Shout out.
Agree. So thank you to him.
If
we were on your what'd you say?
We weren't my top podcast.
Well, it weren't mine either. What was yours?
Shit.
What was your top podcast? Pardon my take. Mine was Front Office Show, as I've said on like every fucking pod we ever recorded.
Toucher and Rich this year.
Mine
Toucher
was
and Rich who had perished, by the way.
Yeah, it's just which one is it? Is it just Toucher or is it just Rich? Yeah, it's just Toucher. Yeah, my top podcasts were Front Office Show, JJ Redick, Zach Lowe, Hoop Collective.
Redick was in mine. So was Bill
yeah.
Simmons.
Yeah.
Bill Simmons, by the way, who's going to be in Vegas when we go.
Ooh, maybe we'll have to say hello. But yeah, if we were in your top podcast, whatever, let us know. Say hello on Twitter. Tweet us. But without further ado, let's get into some popcorn, Sam.
We have a wheel to spin. I killed the
wheel to
bag.
We have a wheel to spin for some popcorn. And I will say, as we get prepared to spin this wheel, bomb.com777 in his comment said, please talk about me before you spin the wheel so I have a better chance of winning.
He also commented like 6 times.
Respect. He wants to win. So last couple times by chance we were talking about Spatula and he won. This time, let's see if it works. We don't rig these, obviously, but
we should
I
start
swear
rigging
to God,
them, and then we can start taking like side bribes to rig it.
Let's see who wins.
Oh, Michael wins.
Redemption. He got screwed last week. He was this close, but Joey Spatula won. So yeah, Michael, who also comments every time, wins this time. Shout out to Michael.
Spoiler alert: we did get some rave reviews on the popcorn.
We did. We're gonna go over those in email
from which we'll get to later. But
yes, sir.
Very good reviews.
Mm-hmm. And also Dakota, I saw you comment again. You will be re-entered next podcast. This was the third and final pod of your cooldown period. You'll be back in next pod.
No more ban for you.
No. But let's get into the Celtics because you know what's funny? People are gonna tune in to us for the first time. And they're just be like, oh, Celtic show. It's like popcorn time. They're going to be
popcorn, talking about different podcasts. I almost asked you what you thought about the flight coming up, but I didn't. We'll save that for later.
You're right. You're the worst. But first thing we're going to talk about is Celtics are upset at the in-season tournament. So we talked about this briefly in the Bulls game, but we mostly talked about the game. I wrote about it for Celtics blog. So what happened was... What'd you say?
I said I'm already making faces.
So, the Celtics last night, as we're recording this 2 nights ago, as you guys listen to this, took down the Bulls. They put the starters back in with 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter because they were trying to hit the point differential. They started Haka Drummonding. They were playing
hysterical.
Drummond.
Even though everyone was mad about it, mad funny.
It was objectively funny. We put up a short about it. Go check out the shorts, but. Joe Mazzulla apologized to Billy Donovan during and after the game. He asked for permission to apologize to Drummond. He did do that as well.
He had to get permission.
Yeah, but after
the
game,
please apologize to your greatest rebounder ever?
Jaylen Brown and Drew Holiday both spoke about how they didn't like it. Jason Tatum talked about how he didn't like it. Jaylen Brown basically said, the agenda has been to try to increase competition, increase revenue, kind of make it, I guess, more exciting. But there's a line between increasing engagement, revenue, notoriety, whatever, and compromising the ethics of the game. It's a balance, and I'm sure we'll talk about it moving forward. Drew Holiday said, I get the point differential, but it just feels weird, kind of like you're just respecting the game. Jaylen Brown said it's tough because that's not how the game is supposed to be played. So it sounds like none of them were like upset that Joe made that decision. They like understood that that's part of the rules. You know, Joe said, we listened to the coaching staff and my guys, like they said this is the best path forward, blah, blah, blah. So they understood that it wasn't, on Joe making the decision. Drew and Jaylen both clarified, like, I think it's a problem of the rule itself. On the contrary, Twitter was very much saying Joe is, lame, like calling out Joe, saying lame for apologizing. Joe's soft, blah, 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 fire Joe, which was just like, of all the takes and all the times to say that about Joe, like, seems like the weird battle to pick. Twitter was also saying maybe if the Bulls were better, they wouldn't be in that situation. Maybe if Andre Drummond made his free throws, he wouldn't be sent to line, which also fair. But
I saw somebody say, yes, let's please all commiserate for the millionaire who can't make free throws.
I saw that. But it's caused a lot of uproar, I suppose, among the players who were not too happy with how they had to approach it.
So we'll go down the list. First things first, Drummond thing, objectively very funny. Guy on Twitter nailed it. I don't feel bad for him. He's a professional basketball player. I can sit there and make free throws. Why can he not? Simple. It's not even my job, and I'm better at it probably than him. Second thing, Jaylen Brown's comments. You don't want to sacrifice the integrity of the game. Agree. Make these stupid courts could go. The jerseys can go. As far as the integrity of the game, all of a sudden people care about the integrity of the game, but when trade requests are happening and all the team jumping, no one cares. It doesn't matter then, but as soon as you have to score more points and actually compete, it's kind of sad. I mean, I'll say this. That was the most fun I think I've had watching a regular season game that was against like a nothing team in a very long time. Obviously, you're going to get up for the Milwaukees and the Phillies and the Lakers and all that. But for a regular season game against the Chicago Bulls, that absolutely ruled. It was like watching a team play a game where they bet the spread and they were actively trying to cover the spread. And everybody knew it was happening. It was so fun. They were playing hard throughout the entire game. And to be honest with you, I think it was a good strategy. You know what was great about yesterday's game? They didn't blow a lead. You know why? Because they had a legitimate objective in front of them that they had to accomplish.
I don't think it's the same as the trade request thing. I understand from the perspective of us how it is similar, but from a player's perspective, the difference is like that is with the free throws. It's like you're disrespecting other players. Like there's no
disrespect teammates when you request a trade.
It's not the same thing. It's not the same thing.
I think if you're going to talk integrity, you listen, certain situations fine, but like it's getting out of hand. It's far out of hand.
Sure. And I just think that's a separate issue. I don't think it ties into this.
I don't know. What happened to the game I love? Honoring contracts. These guys don't even sign contracts with teams anymore. They just sign contracts to be a part of the league. It doesn't mean anything. I mean, Jaylen's extension's great, but like he just has a $304 million contract to play in the NBA.
Sure.
He's not really like technically he's entitled to play for the Celtics, but he could turn around tomorrow and be like, I'm not playing anymore. Trade me. And they have no defense.
But they do. They could just not trade him and not pay him.
Yeah, but then they just eat that money. Like there's nothing they can do with the cap. Like they get fucked.
Yeah, and he also gets no money. So like it's two-sided. Again, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm not trying to disagree with you. I just don't think it's the same thing. I think one is how the actual basketball game is being played and disrespecting your opponents. And again, I'm not saying like I agree with Jaylen Brown or whatever. I'm just like explaining my interpretation of the thought process. It is how they're playing the game, and it's always been
integrity from them.
Again, I'm trying to explain why it's different. One is how you're actually playing in the moment, in the game of you're up by a lot. The way it's been played is respectful. You take your starters out. You don't run up the score. It's like why you don't make a layup if the shot clock's off and you're up by $1 million. It's why, Jamal, like whatever, like when Jamal Murray made that shot all those years ago.
The 360 and
right.
Phoenix
like,
was real mad.
Exactly. Yeah. It's like that sort of thing versus then you're getting into and again, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with it. It is the player's rights versus the team rights, all that stuff. But like that is, I think that's its own separate thing versus the one-to-one, like direct disrespect in their eyes of your opponent that has been different from how the game has always been on the court.
I have like other integrity of the game things. Would you like to hear them?
Sure.
So, what's the integrity of the game for Zach LaVine walking around pouting out there? Is there integrity of the game for that as he collects $60 million?
I'm not disagreeing with you, but
I'm not trying to start a fight with you. I'm coming at them. It's like we want to talk about integrity of the game, but like only every once in a while. Like when it's not like in your favor, nobody wants to talk about it. Like Zach LaVine collecting a check to sit out there and pout and suck. That's not in more so the pout thing. I mean, if you suck, you suck. Like it's whatever. But like to go out there and have a miserable attitude and punt away a game like that blowout is just as much on the Bulls as it is the Celtics. Like the Bulls had no defense. Like their subs came into the end of the game and cut the lead down. Like they actually played for real. But the starters just playing like a bunch of bozos. Like where's that integrity for the game? Another integrity for the game, tanking. I know the league doesn't favor tanking. I know they've tried to eliminate it. I know they've done things with the lottery odds. But where's the integrity for the game while the Sixers are just punting games to get free number 1 overall picks for years and years? Where's the integrity there? Like, there's so many different things you could, like, whine integrity of the game about besides point differential, which probably gave us the best regular season night in the NBA and who knows how long. That was a blast. Watching that game at home, then sprinting upstairs because I don't have the league pass on the main TV. I have it in my room to turn on the Nets game and watch that. And I wasn't even up for the late games. That Sacramento game was wild. The Warriors were trying to clinch the group. They went up 24. They needed to win by 12. They collapsed. It just had so much more chaos. It was great results. If you want one suggestion on the group stage is I think you should play each team twice, home and home. One, it would prolong this in-season tournament. I think you would get more juice out of it. You could wrap it around Christmas and kind of go into the new year and get everyone excited. And I think it would eliminate some confusion because everybody wanted to complain how they're all confused by the tiebreakers, which is fair. Like it was a very confusing thing. Like I had to sit down and look and be like, okay, this is what needs to happen. But the people like, oh yeah, we don't get the group stage. What's not to get? They're just trying to have the best record. And if they are tied, then it goes head to head. And then if there's, I
don't think it should be as spaced out either. Like put it all in a row, put it all in like the group play, like have it over the course of 2 weeks rather than game
No. You want it spaced out.
Why?
Because it adds like a little bit of flair to all the things. Like you don't want to pause the whole season for this thing because if you do that, then you're kind of like making it a separate thing. The way they have it now is actually pretty sweet because these games do count as regular season games. I think if you put everything in hold just to hold the group stages, it would be kind of weird that they're still counting towards regular season games. It's cool that they have designated days. I like that. I just think they should have prolonged the group stage. And I wouldn't be shocked if they do that next year because people like this. And now that kind of everyone was like, oh, shit, like this is kind of cool on the last day. Like people might be like, okay, we do care about this. Instead of like shitting on it for half the group stage. Yeah. They were like, wait a minute. This is kind of cool. I was in.
Yeah, I agree. And I think it has been fun. I still think it's different than some of the things you mentioned, but.
It is. It is. But it's still like integrity of the game. Like you can pull integrity of the game on all of those things.
I agree. And I think people have complained about all
those things. Apples.
I know, but I think people have complained about those things too. Like, I don't think these are things that are just like slipping by. I think it's a fair thing. And like, for like the Zach LaVine thing, for example, right? Like Jaylen Brown's not going to comment on that as an opposing player. He's just not. However, there have been times in the past where a player's attitude has been bad and the players on the team have been like vocally mad about it. They may not say anything, but like, I mean, Joel Embiid posting the,
Bulls are kind of vocally mad.
Exactly. And I mean, Joel Embiid after the trade posting rest in peace Bozo was all time, right? Like that's clear. Like he's speaking out about it. So I think there's levels to that. And I think it's
Evan Turner speaking up on the tanking.
Exactly. I think the difference with it is the internal in terms of groups. Like for the trade request thing, that is sort of players versus teams, right? Effectively, the tanking thing is players versus teams. Like it's the players' desire to win versus the team's desire to get a draft pick. With this, the rule is basically pitting the players against the players, pitting the coaches against like people you're competing against that you're supposed to have a respect for, and making them break the way they've played for like however many years the NBA has been there.
Get ready for the NFL season with incredible offers from FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets. Guaranteed. That's guaranteed. Plus, all customers who bet $5 will get $100 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. It absolutely is. The app is easy to use, and you can be on everything from spreads to player props and more. So visit FanDuel.com/Boston. Kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL.
That said, I don't really know what the solution is. Like, what's the other tiebreaker they could implement that would avoid this disrespect on your opponent? Yeah, right. Like
you fill up TD Garden with 18,000, and you trot. They can pick from each bench, and they all trot out there and play rock paper scissors. That's the fairest way to do it. Good integrity of the game.
I think the head-to-head thing you mentioned, like playing two against each opponent, would solve that a little bit because you'd probably see the point differential come into effect a lot
there'd be less tiebreakers.
So I don't know.
More variation.
I understand where the players are coming from. That said, maybe don't lose. Maybe
cry
don't lose
harder.
by 30. Maybe be better. So
I don't want to hear about the blowout stuff. Like, again, it was a blast to watch. You can't tell me that these players didn't have fun. I forget who I saw it from last night, but I saw that there were reports the Celtics were like actively hyped when the Nets game was going on, watching the Nets.
You want to hear it?
Them their spot. Okay.
There's a video of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me find it.
Like they should, and not for nothing. Like this is one of my favorite Celtics regular season wins in a while because they had such a tall task in front of them and they accomplished it. You don't get that in just a regular game against. Oh, wait, is this when he's talking?
Yeah. So during Billy Donovan's press conference, he was saying, as he was saying, the Celtics are trying to get to Vegas. You could hear everybody from the Celtics, like team, like the players, etc., but also like the PR people in the hallway, like cheering. Boy. So let me see if I can hear.
No, I just, Andre is a veteran guy, and I told him, I'm like, what are we doing here? Like I'm totally fine. Like I get it on keeping your guys in, wanting to get in. The league's made a big deal, but they also, in fairness to them, they got to deal with the rules too. If they're trying to get into, Vegas, there's things that they got to do. For me, it was just the fouling. And Joe was great when I talked to him. I mean, he understood.
Oh, no. That's so funny. Is there more? No.
No, it's just I think it's just that cheer, and then like that's about it. But
like they give a shit. Like they're on up there bitching about it, but at the same time, like they're all for it. Like as a fan, I don't want to see them boycott the rule. I'm happy that they abided and competed and got themselves into the next stage.
I'm not a player, obviously, so I'm not like in the mind. But the way I see it is like they understand the rules. They like the tournament, and you even heard the Bulls. Like Billy Donovan's like, yeah, I get it. It's the league rule. Like it's fine. I just think like that's got to be so awkward, right? These are people you respect, you are friendly with, you're like you have known them forever, et cetera, et cetera. Like some of them have been on the Bulls before, some of them have had relationships, it's like that stuff, and that you're forced to go out there and, I mean, if you're friends with Andre Drummond or him, whatever, you're forced to foul him, basically say, sorry, brother, see you later. Like I understand the awkwardness of it from that perspective. Maybe like and from that perspective,
what about in a real game?
What do you mean?
If it's actually close? It's the same thing. Like it's still disrespectful.
Yes, but I think the added element of you're already winning the game, and so it's a different situation. And like I said, they understand the implications. They understand why the Celtics had to do it. And I don't think Billy Donovan was mad at the Celtics. I think he was mad they were put in the position where they had to disrespect him. So I think it's just weird. I think it's just weird, and eventually people get used to it. But I mean, if I am going up and playing against, whatever. There's no real one-to-one scenario, but if I'm, playing pickup with Henry and I say, fuck you, I'm up 30, I'm just going to fucking keep going anyways and foul you and then get the ball back. Like, he's going to get mad, obviously, right? And if I'm put in the position where I have to do that, I don't want to do that because it's not like I dislike him. So, like, again, they understand why it's awkward. The Bulls get it. And I'm not saying the Celtics were wrong for doing it, but I understand why they felt weird about it, if that makes sense.
I think, and we can move on after this. If everybody kind of understands the stipulations, they essentially all know that they're playing a spread game. They should know. I mean, essentially, when the Celtics were doing that, they were technically only up like 7 points. In the grand scheme of what the goal was. And he also
didn't know. Yeah, Billy Donovan also didn't know before it was explained to him.
I see.
So, like, Joe, remember when Joe was talking to Billy at half court?
Yes.
He was like, Billy thought that we only had to win by 23, but I had to explain to him that it also depended on how much the Nets won by, et cetera, et cetera. So, like, you understand the frustration there. Again, I just think it's a really awkward thing, especially because it's, like, new. And this is not something they've ever had to deal with. Like, I think the biggest part that is causing this, not uproar, but, like, the criticism is
discussion.
It is a complete 180 from everything they've ever known about basketball. And so it's weird and they don't like it and it's changed. And eventually I think it'll be fine because you'll understand. And I mean, I saw something on Twitter today that said the Nets heard that the Celtics won by a certain amount and they started chucking up threes to try to fuck
they
it
did.
over.
I watched it. I was like, all right, let's all calm down. They ended up getting it to like 15.
I know. And so I think as time goes on, they'll get more used to it and they'll be more okay with it. It's just right now, it is a complete switch up from everything they've learned about the game.
It adds like a fun element to it. Like the Nets chucking threes is fun.
I agree. I'm not disagreeing. I'm just saying I understand why they think it's awkward. But like, I agree that it was objectively fun to watch. Like we were up there on the 9th floor, like Nets game on the phone, like watching, like checking. It was good. They put the Nets score on the Jumbotron at TD Garden. Like people care.
Yeah, I saw Justin Turpin tweet and he was like, yeah, no one cared. He's like, no one reacted.
During the game, I don't remember if it was when they put that on the Jumbotron or before, but like obviously us up there on the 9th floor, like we all knew it was happening. But Noah, who writes for Celtics blog, Noah Dalzell, turned to me. She goes, "What do you think the ratio of people at this game that know what's happening within season tournament?"
It was probably like 1 out of every 5.
Right? Yeah. I was generous. I said maybe 50-50, but I think that's way too high a ratio. But anyways,
and also not for nothing, like they're out on these very colorful courts. You step on the colorful court, there's no mercy.
Sure,
that's the whole point. Just in case you live under a rock and you're brain dead, Adam Silver wants you to know that this game is different.
True. Mission accomplished, I suppose. Just maybe fuck off with the courts next year. Not a fan. Anyways.
Yeah. Just put the big trophy in the middle.
I said if you really want to make it distinctive enough, I would have liked the green part of the Celtics court, change that back, make it parquet, and then make the stripe in the middle green with the trophy. And that's it.
That too.
I think that'd be acceptable. Anyways, next thing, after we spent 20 minutes on that, didn't expect
it's a good break, though. And I don't think we really ran out of stuff. We probably could do another 15 minutes if we really wanted to.
No, that's okay. Jaylen Brown posted to Instagram. I assume you saw this.
Yeah.
Did we just become best friends? He posted a meme of the Step Brothers with him and Kristaps Porzingis. Said, "Bro, better not touch my drums." I mean, if you had told me
Kristaps is back,
would be sick. But if you had told me to guess at the start of the year, pick 2 players of the top 6, who do you think is going to be the best friends this year? It might have been my last guess. Porzingis and Jaylen Brown. Like, it's just, I mean, it's awesome. Not complaining. The chemistry on the court's sick. They live in the same building. What I want to know is, did these 2 motherfuckers sit down together and watch the Step Brothers movie? And then Jalen's like, "Oh, watch this. Look what I'm going to make."
No, I think Greeny posted this and he must have seen it.
Okay.
Because
I mean, that's
my
better.
source of seeing this was Greeny.
Gotcha.
Also, Kristaps paying for Twitter Blue.
Is he? Oh yeah. No, I think people over 1 million.
He's paying for it.
Unless he just got it. That's weird. Anyways, no, yeah. I mean, this is kind of sick. This
Oh,
is
it's
very
funny.
cool. Big fan. Big fan of it. I mean, that's all I had. We can talk about the 2-man game a little bit, or we can just move on. I just want to show the meme. I think it's a funny meme.
Move on.
I just thought it was funny. What's next? Oh, yes. So next thing comes from Michael Scotto of Hoops Hype, who reported that the Celtics plan on waiting for the buyout market before they make any decisions. He came out with an article today which went over all 30 teams, sort of their trade, their what's it called? Their
What's next? What
plans.
moves?
Yeah, it was titled Top Trade Candidates for the 23-24 season. He went over every team. And gave one top trade candidate, like for example, DeAndre Hunter for the Hawks. For the Celtics, he just goes buyout market condition ? He said, with the roster spot open, most executives believe the Boston Celtics will stand pat and wait until the buyout market to add another veteran for a championship run. It's worth noting that Boston expressed interest in several veterans, including re-signing Blake Griffin and free agent forward TJ Warren last offseason. So, just like we can go over some potential guys they could get on the buyout market, but it seems like the Celtics are happy standing pat and waiting for now with their open roster spot.
I don't blame them. There's no one, they don't really have anybody to trade. I mean, we've talked trades a little bit because we had the video where we did, hey, they should go get Tice. And it was like, to get Tice, they had to, what was it? They had to get somebody via the TPE and then combine that with Pritchard to make the $10 million to get Tice here.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not even a large salary in today's league. So there's really not a lot of flexibility that they can come up with. And I don't even know if you really want to give up Pritchard at this point. He's good for something. Like,
agree.
You don't really have that many guys you believe in off the bench. He's one of them. You can't just like go out there and be like, see you later. You have to keep him while you can. You just extended him on a pretty team-friendly deal. I think Pritchard has something in the tank. I don't think Pritchard is a bum by any means, but he's been inconsistent this year. I don't think that means you trade him. I don't think you're getting
He's on a
anything
good
back
contract
for him that's really worth trading him. I don't know.
I agree.
They could do that TPE method to get Caruso, but that's it, and that's not happening.
I think the important part to consider there is too, he's on a cheap deal and also a long deal. And so anything you trade Pritchard for, if it's only a 1 or 2 year deal, you're losing 2 extra years once the CBA is in effect. Like, I just don't know if it's financially smart to trade Pritchard when he is, I mean, he's a solid contributor. He's been fine this year. He's gone through, like you said, he's had his off nights, but he's had a couple hot shooting nights. He's rebounding the ball well. He's playmaking the very well.
Say that. Like, he's trying. Season. At the very least, he's trying.
Definitely.
Do you have any guys off the top of your head that would be buyout guys? This is always hard this time of year. You don't really know yet.
I was looking around. You have to look at the Pistons as potential candidates. Like, if no one can match Joe Harris's salary, he could get bought out. Same thing with Alec Burks, Monty Morris. We talked about this trade guys, but if any of them get bought out, that's options there. If the Raptors decide to blow it up and no one jumps on Otto Porter Jr. or Thaddeus Young, maybe they get bought out and become free agents. The Bulls, everyone on their roster seems pretty tradable, but like,
imagine if they have to buy out DeRozan.
Imagine if they buy out Andre Drummond. You bring him in after what you did to him.
Well, I put in the Celtics blog chat today because this was actually like kind of discussed, a trade for Drummond, because I don't think he makes any money.
I wouldn't like it, but yeah.
It would be like a fire redemption arc, like if him and Joe just became really good friends.
Would be kind of sick.
Very wholesome story. After just humiliating him in a blowout game, they just become great friends on the way to a title.
Mm-hmm. In Washington, maybe like no, there's nothing in Washington.
No, they got if they buy out. No, they
Shamit,
can't. They can't
get
sign any
Gallinari
of the trade guys. No.
If they buy out Landry Shamit, but he's got 3 years left. Like in Charlotte, maybe like if
Doesn't
they really
kind of suck. Like he's really fallen off a cliff.
He's not.
Anytime
great.
I see anything about Shamit, it's just like really mean.
He this year has played in 13 games, 8 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 47-37 splits. Actually, not bad.
Not terrible.
Not terrible. Doesn't play defense though. I wonder. The Hornets are weird, right? We're gonna talk about LaMelo Ball later. He's hurt. If they want to go into full tank for the season, would they buy out Gordon Hayward? Wouldn't hate Gordon Hayward.
I wouldn't
Don't
hate
think
it
it's.
either.
I think it's very unlikely. However, wouldn't hate it.
Yeah, LaMelo just
Would.
got hurt, which we
He
have on
did.
the sheet. Like
Yeah, we were talking
they
about
could even though there's no reason because they don't have their pick.
No.
Spurs have it.
The Hornets?
I'm like 95% sure that San Antonio has their draft pick.
It's got to be protected. No, wait. Let me look.
I think they're fucked. I truly think
top
that,
14. Top 14
Okay,
protected.
tank
Yeah.
away.
Top 16 in 23, 14 in 24, 25, or else it turns into seconds. So they're fine.
Got a tank.
Yeah. They're fine.
Especially because you tank this year, it carries over to next year the protection.
Cooper Flag. Cooper Flag. All right, next thing we have is another trade thing. Bleacher Report's back, man. They're pumping him out. It's that time of year. And guess what, Sam? I don't know if you looked at the sheet. Two out of the three guys they suggested are the same exact players they suggested last time. DeLon Wright and Precious Achiuwa are back. Reggie Bullock, another one who could be a potential trade candidate. He's on the Rockets right now. Meh. Other thing of note.
They're not going to get Reggie Bullock. You know why? Is because they could have just got him for Grant. If they wanted Reggie Bullock, they literally because he was literally traded from the Mavs.
Well,
in the Grant Williams trade,
he would be cheaper now. It would be a lot cheaper. Which is like
why? Oh, because they bought him out. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay.
So it'd be like
bad.
No, it'd be
but
like
still they could have got him.
They could have. And the other thing to note is from the same Michael Scotto Hoops Hype article, reserve forward John Conchar is a candidate to be dealt before the deadline. Celtics, Warriors, and Lakers among the teams who've kept tabs on his situation.
Who he played for?
Do you not know? Okay. But
unless he moved, and
he plays for Memphis.
Shambles.
He plays for Memphis. He has played 13 games this year, 19 minutes a night, 3 points, 4 rebounds, almost 2 assists. Not great shooting splits, 35%, 32%, but he takes 3 shots a game. So it's like, is it like noticeable? He is very much, what is my example? Do you know Kenrich Williams?
Yes.
If I had a comp, that would be
the
comp. Yeah, that'd be the comp for him. I think they're pretty similar. Kenrich Williams is playing far better than John Conchar. However, I think they do a bunch of like similar things. He's a great rebounder for his position. He kind of does a little everything. He can get hot from deep. He's a career 37% shooter from distance, so he can shoot. I wouldn't hate it. I don't know his money situation. I can check right now. He is making 2.4 million. 2.4 million this year, and then 6.165 the next 3 years after that. So if the Celtics did trade for him, he would be another cheap rotation player, and they could get him for cheap now and then keep him on the books later. So they wouldn't have to, worry about the money. So it makes sense because you could fit him into that TPE. And I'm just saying, if they're looking to keep up the Pocahontas meme of the bench, it would fit in right where they're trying to go.
Gordon Hayward too.
It's true, but no. Excuse me, John Conchar. I just choked on my I swallowed
about the white guys.
I swallowed and I choked. Don't pause. John Conchar, good. I wouldn't hate it. I think it'd be a fine if they can get him for seconds or whatever, and it would fall into the Grizzlies could tank that you have been pushing. If they just like to sell assets.
Listen, you trade Conchar, just no coming back. That is the ultimate blow it up move.
It's true.
Basically, the Pearson Garnett trade from 10 years
So
ago.
rank those 4 trade targets though: DeLon Wright, Precious Achiuwa, Reggie Bullock, John Conchar. With the context of everyone except DeLon Wright would fit into the TPE. DeLon Wright, you'd have to do some other stuff.
I think I like Achiuwa the best. I think that's like the biggest question mark position for the Celtics is the backup big. I think Cornette's been fine. This isn't a dig at him, but I don't think it would hurt. I think that's the thing people are curious about. I think if you bring in Reggie Bullock, is he really giving you anything that Hauser's not giving you? Especially Hauser playing really well. Like, no. DeLon Wright, maybe he could be a steady backup option. It's not the worst thing. So I'd probably go Achiuwa, DeLon Wright, Bullock, and then Conchar in that same breath. Like, is he really going to give you anything extra?
Yeah, sure. Other excuse me, other potential guys the Celtics could look for that fit in the TPE. Aya Dosunmu, they just re-signed him, but if they really blow it up and the Celtics are like, hey, we'll give you a first because we like him. I like Aya Dosunmu. I think he'd fit pretty well. He's a bigger guard too. He's 6'5", and he's kind of bulky, so I think he could play up a little. I don't hate that if they could like bait the Bulls' interest. Chetty Osman, if you wanted to go that route, don't love it. They have plenty of wings. I'd go for a guard or a big if I'm the Celtics. Dean Wade is fine. He's like a forward guy. Nick Richards in Charlotte, he's effectively just a better Nemish Keita. So like maybe you're fine with just having Nemi around, but like he's fine. He does a bunch of things that are cool. Past that, it's just like
bear with
you're
me.
getting into the realm of meh. Oh God. Okay.
So I'm starting to like kind of flip through the standings in my head, right?
Sure.
Clippers bad.
Sure.
What
Yeah.
if Russ is the scapegoat again?
You'd want Russ?
So I'm like torn if I would want Russ because Russ can't shoot.
That's the issue.
Russ doesn't necessarily know his role. I haven't seen a lot of the Clippers this year. I have seen posts about him actually not being bad. And he's playing with a group of people that can play basketball. The problem is they don't play together. I think you might be able to get him to buy it. And if you can, as a bench role, he has the strength to play defense. Like he's physically gifted still. He's still athletic. And if you get him to just kind of be the setup man and help out the rest of the guys, I don't necessarily hate it. I mean, what does he make? $3 million? Like you really don't have to give up a lot for him. I think it would be a big like slight to Pritchard if you did that. But at the same time, it's like, well, they like what they're giving him. Or he's given them in LA. They brought him back. Like
my only problem is that, like what you just said, he doesn't shoot, and so
if
you bring him in, yeah, it would be awkward. I don't think
it's not as crazy as it sounded a year ago.
It's not, but I don't think they'll buy him out. Like I think they like him too.
They don't have to trade.
I don't think they would trade him either. Willingly.
I mean, he's coming off the bench. He's already coming off the bench. Like
I know,
but has waddled over there, and now Westbrook's whole role has changed. And they just lost to the Reggie Jackson and DeAndre Jordan Nuggets.
I just don't know. I just don't
too
know
soon to tell on that one.
Yeah.
But I think that's like a maybe look out. Watch out.
Sure. Michael Scotto also
mentioned teams.
Michael Scotto also mentioned the Celtics have been a team to show an interest in Reggie Bullock for what it's worth. Something I'm just skimming through this Michael Scotto article.
I hate the Celtics, man. Because if they went and they got him this summer, that would be tradable salary. That would be like $10 million they could have traded.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm skimming through this article. Chuma Okeke. It says he's had a log jam in there. Teams have expressed exploratory interest. Considered a good locker room presence, a hard worker. Don't hate it for the Celtics. He's big, 6'6". He's not playing much this year, so his averages are meh. But in the games he's played, he shot well from three. Do you know this? Or yeah, Magic. It's meh. I don't know. It's just another name because he fits into the.
You're not getting any non-meh trades.
No, you're not. No, correct.
Not talking to you. Talking to listeners. If you're expecting anything exciting, Russ is the absolute pinnacle that you could possibly get, and that isn't happening. Davion
Mitchell has been pushed out of the Kings rotation.
Oh,
behind two-way guard Keon Ellis. So, again, would be very similar to Payton Pritchard, but he defends very well. He's not shooting very well, but he's a great defender. He makes, I think, enough money to where it's he makes $5 million. So it's not like he you could fit him into the TPE there. But another name. Past that, scrolling down. Raptors guys. Kelly Olynyk. Expiring contracts, potential trade candidate.
Kelly makes like 11, 12, right?
Yeah, 2 months.
You know how you could get to 12 is if you had traded for Reggie Bullock in taking back salary in the Grant trade instead of creating a shitty TPE that you can't use for anything.
It's true.
Maybe there's a reason that they did that, but to this day, I'm just like, why did you just not keep that cap slot alive?
I don't know.
Dumb.
Yeah, they were already so expensive. It is what it is at this point. But
who gives a shit? Not my money.
All right,
I will never sympathize. I know the CBA, but I won't sympathize.
Let's go to the emails here. Let's check in to see what people had to say. I'll switch it over to the Inpopnito and take a look.
It's empty. You know why? Because it's so good that I ate all of it.
Let's take a look at what people have to say. RJ, what's poppin'? Getting into the offense from 2 days ago after we recorded the last one. Afternoon, guys. Went to Celtics blog to give my take on how to improve the Celtics offensive flow. Article is here. Nothing too controversial, but something I think an overlook in the superstar.
I would have so much respect if you clicked that link and it just said make shots. That's this whole article.
It is not. He's saying Tatum and Brown, the best 2 offensive players, scorers, shooters, finishers. Does not mean they're best shooter to bring the ball into the front court. 3 things that stand out when either of them start the offensive possession. They will bring the ball up more slowly than White, Holiday, Bridger. Spend several seconds dribbling outside the 3-point line to survey the defense. Not infrequently call their own number. The idea of getting the ball in the hand makes sense. The key element is getting it to them and starting with them. Basically saying, using guard as ball handlers reduces turnovers. Gives the ball handler more time to operate the floor. Tatum basically saying point guard should be bringing the ball up more than Tatum and Brown, which sure, I have no problem.
I agree. I did write about Jaylen Brown for Celtics blog. I don't know if you're listening to this and it's up yet, but I submitted it. And if they don't think it sucks, it'll get published. But I went through and I looked at a couple of the games over the past week. One, he was very good against Milwaukee. And the second one against Orlando, when it was maybe the worst thing I've ever seen. And the reason why I went into it and really looked at the trends, and obviously it's a small sample size with just 2 games, but the Bucks game saw Jaylen Brown score 8 quick points by basically not forcing anything and just being in the right spots. And it helped him not only continue and just rip off a super efficient scoring night, 26 points on, I think it was 10 of 16. He also dished 8 assists and didn't turn the ball over. Like, he just wasn't playing reckless. Orlando, 1 of 14 second half, 13 misses in a row after dunking to start the half. Like, and it helped them absolutely melt down. So basically the point is, I think Jaylen is just the driving force behind if the team wins or the team loses, because his window for how well he plays is just so much wider than everyone else.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, I think he's been good for the most part this year, but his slip ups definitely hurt.
Sorry, I mean that turned into a longer.
No, I agree with you. I agree.
Brought great shame.
Yeah, I agree. I think point guards bringing it up should help. What's poppin'? Whiny player ratless from a day ago from RJ. Afternoon, gents. Here's hoping the Celtics beat the Bulls by more than they took out the Pacers tonight. It's true.
Spoiler alert, they do.
Just watched Tuesday's podcast with Marcus calling out his Memphis teammates, and the reaction from Anthony Edwards got me boiling. Do not ever try to blame fan reaction for your poor performance. If you aren't engaging the fans, then make an effort, try harder and do better. Show signs of life. I couldn't play well because the fans weren't into it is rank BS. I don't think that's what Anthony
integrity of the game.
I don't think that's what Edwards was saying, though. I think he was just saying like that's the.
I actually don't even know what he's referencing.
We watched the clip during the last podcast
of Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, him talking about how the Memphis crowd was dead. It was the dead, and they're usually popping. Other whiny player ratless things that need to stop. Not getting back on defense so you can bitch out the ref for no call. Hey, guess what? You still aren't getting the call, and now you've put your team in a 4-5 disadvantage. Way to go, Einstein.
Tatum handshake Grant.
I think Tatum's been better at it this year, but yeah, he did a lot over the first course of sure.
Grant was
Trae Young
had influence.
Yeah, right.
Scumbag.
Celebrating an individual accomplishment at the wrong time. So you make it down windmill dunk while your team is losing in 28 by the 4th. That's nice. Get back on defense.
Have you been watching the Wizards?
Yes, maybe. Complaining on every call. Sometimes the ball goes out of bounds off your hand. Refs will respect you more when you only point out real mistakes. This includes Horford's perpetual "what do you mean" face. Peeing Grayson Allen, his entire playing etiquette is just one big whine. If there was ever a player who epitomized everything that everyone hates about Duke, he is it.
Tatum.
I think if Allen and Kyrie were ever on the same team, it would implode from the weight of Duke-ish self-importance. Okay, I'm done. That felt good. Be well. Shout out RJ.
Thanks,
RJ. Next thing, once again from RJ. What's popping? It goes all the way to 27. This is after the game last night. Evening, guys. Never any doubt, right? I only saw the first quarter. Tuesdays are family movie night, but I knew the Celtics were going to get it done in advance. The Unicorn wasn't going to waste the good threads on a mere 22-point victory. True. At first, I wondered if the Celtics strategy was only 3-pointers, but they eventually got some good looks inside. And it was lovely to see Drew find his long-distance stroke tonight. We all need to remember this team, even at 80%, is still scary. Be well, RJ.
I will
Agreed.
say this.
Yeah.
I kind of knew early on, like I did tweet, I was like, Bulls look like they might want to lose by 23 or more tonight.
They were so bad.
They were trying to get in a shootout with the Celtics. I was like, are they sure about this?
Yeah. Well, it's ironic because the Celtics then proceeded to shoot 20 more threes than the Bulls did.
Well, they learned. They were like, shit, we're not good at this. But then they're just not good at anything. So
Yeah,
they had no backup.
Conclusion, Bulls are terrible. They're bad. Bulls bad.
Bulls bad.
That's
They
it.
should relegate the Bulls.
Down. Would be kind of fun to cover that.
You want to talk integrity of the game, you put regulation in that baby. They're going to be playing hard every night.
From RJ, what's poppin'? Enjoy defensive clinic. Evening, guys. Want to have a treat with the Bulls Celtics games? Go onto your DVR and jump to 6:22 left in the first quarter, where you can see the start of 20 minutes of professional defense played by Celtics slam dunk superstar Sam Hauser. His footwork, body positioning, commitment to boxing out, all of it is a joy to watch. He would guard whoever came to him in the switches and not care who it was. DeRozan averaged 7 free throws per game. He only had 4 tonight. None coming off of Sam's defense. When the ball would go up, he was looking for someone to get a body on and box out. None of it was highlight reel stuff. It would make for beautiful instructional clips. Be well, RJ. I've wrote about it. I already wrote about Sam Hauser's defense. I wrote about Sam Hauser's defense for Celtics blog. Go check it out.
Jack, I think we need a video of just a film review of that game yesterday.
The Bulls game?
Yeah, because I think, you let us know in the chat because a lot of people liked the Raptors one we did. But, I mean,
we'll have to find a way to phrase it.
No more of a perfect game to make fun of than that one.
We'll have to find a player to focus on like we did for the Raptors because we focused on JB, KP.
Zach LaVine. Zach LaVine, 1 of 9 for 2 points.
Got to be a Celtics player. We got to feed the Celtics.
Celtics defense.
Last time we wrote about the Celtics defense, it was the Hornets video. You want to repeat that? Maybe not. Last email here from Nate Bach, absolute boss. What's poppin' and rat list? Nate, Jack and Sam, I received my order from Inpopnito and I love it. I ordered 3 flavors and prefer them in this order: cheddar disguised caramel, chocolate peanut butter pops, and key lime. Can't wait to win another gift card and order more. Cheddar disguised caramel is fucking fire.
You like that?
Very good.
I think that's a good mix. I have not tried chocolate peanut butter pops, but let me tell you, it's on my list. And I didn't even know key lime existed. So that just, for those that don't know that much about Inpopnito, you want to talk about a shapeshifter like Derek White. Look no further.
Hot
just absolute hoss of versatility at Inpopnito. You can get like buffalo wing flavor, ghost pepper flavor, caramel apple, peanut butter chocolate, the dill pickle, butter. They got all of it. So whatever you like, they have it. That's why you say what's popping, because then you get some free.
It's great. Inpopnito's great. Shout out. Rat list myself. Recently, this is from Nate still. Recently, we had a staff luncheon in our office. In these luncheons, the seatings is designed so you have to sit with people you usually don't interact with. Rat list itself.
Terrible. Yeah. You said it too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Why do people do that, man? Just like, I get it, but also like, just let everybody hang out with the people they like. Everybody will have so much of a better time.
Agreed.
Or, well, actually, respect your company for doing it like on work hours, though. Instead of being like, hey, you're not working anymore, but use your free time.
Yeah. During the meal, our conversation jumped around because of the diverse group of people around the table. We were all having a good time and joking around a bit. Somehow we started talking about what we did post high school and or college. I shared that I moved out of my parents' house the day after I graduated high school. And then I went on to say that I never wanted to go back and be one of those, quote, losers who was 30 and living in my parents' basement. I'm 47. So this was the common sentiment when I was a kid. Well, Nate, as 2 guys who still live at home, fuck you.
Buddy, go fuck yourself.
Can
we get a ban?
Yeah. Also, I will say, Nate,
I actually emailed him back and said I live at home, prick. But I was like, I'm glad you like the popcorn.
A lot different, moving in and out then versus now, man. I don't got
nobody moves out. Like all my friends live at home too.
I don't got 10K to drop a new place despite the common chat sentiment. At that point, one of the young ladies at the table says, I'm 24 and I live live in my
That's
parents'
right.
basement. And a second young lady says, it's different nowadays. It costs so much to get a place to live. I couldn't afford my own place, so I went back home after college. Handshake. They understand.
Nate Bach getting hit with some, hey, buddy, you're old.
The rest of the table was dead silent. The tension was palpable. I offended the two youngest and newest employees in the office. At that point, the only thing I could think of to do, I grabbed my forehead and tried to fake a brain aneurysm.
I've heard of the fake heart attack, and I've actually witnessed it, but never the fake aneurysm.
He said, I was like, what just happened? What were we talking about? Oh man, my head hurts. It hurts. I was joking around trying to lighten the mood. And yes, I know it's not funny to joke about having a brain aneurysm.
No, it is. It's okay.
I know this because the other lady at the table said that's not funny. A lot of my family members have died from brain aneurysms.
Are you sure this isn't an I think you should leave sketch? This is like the hat sketch when he like gets mad when they tell him to take off the hat. And then he yells at the lady, and then everyone's like, "What the fuck, man?" And he's like, "Who said that?"
That's not funny. A lot of my family members have died from brain aneurysms. It runs in our family. The entire table was dead silent. Finally, the second lady said, "My mom actually sold her basement, so I couldn't keep living there." At that, everyone laughed, and the lady with the family, even the lady with the family dying from brain aneurysms. So needless to say, that was the worst luncheon ever. I need to be on the rat list for being the Michael Scott of the office. Yeah, I hired all three of these ladies. I'm their boss. I'm never joking around. That was a terrible day. Nate Boss for real.
I just picture Nate Boss just looking like Tim Robbins.
Wow, that's pretty incredible. They're not wrong though. It's not fun trying to move out. As a guy who's looked around in places to move out, not fun at the moment.
Hell, you want to move out for, man? Just
man. Man. Okay, let's move on to the NBA part of the show. And we'll start with our NBA standings check-in as per usual. Let's take a look around the league, see who's on a win streak, see who's losing, see who's winning.
So,
yeah.
This week we got the absolute battle of the juggernauts of Washington and Detroit.
Yes.
And last night on TNT, Chuck discussed this, and he said, unless you're a family member, if you went to that Wizards-Pistons game, you're a damn fool.
Well, the best part is it was a fucking blowout.
What happened?
Wizards.
You know the Pistons haven't won a playoff game since 2008.
Yeah, it's nuts. The Wizards won 126 to 107. That's like, dude, the Pistons are embarrassing. This is so bad. Did you hear what Monty Williams said the other day about the Pistons?
He said, just bring me my money.
No, he said, I need to find the quote. He said, oh, God.
This hurts my heart. It does. I really want I'm done with the Pistons being bad. The Pistons aren't my league. The league is more fun when they're a decent team. I don't really want them to be a powerhouse, but you know, if they were at the level of like the Knicks, I'd be fine with it.
He said something to the, I can't find it. He said something to the effect of like they were practicing. Oh yeah, we had a loose ball today in the backcourt. We probably had 6 guys die for it. You don't have that on most teams that have lost this many games in a row. Like talking about their energy at practice, buddy, that don't matter. You've lost 14 fucking games in a row.
Hey,
you just got blown out by the Wizards.
When you get a loose ball, it doesn't change the score. You gotta put the ball in the basket.
Let Kyle Kuzma had 32, 12, and 8.
What Poole have?
10. Oh my God.
Something else. You seen the video of him pretending to care?
Yeah. The turnaround. Pistons are terrible. Spurs are still bad as well. They've lost 12 in a row. They can't do much right.
Pop's a loser, by the way. I don't think we talked about the Pop telling the crowd to stop booing.
Yeah, it's lame. Agreed.
Yeah, they should have thrown tomatoes at Pop. It's time for Pop to retire officially.
No, we can't go that much of a switch up. He did one lame thing.
No, it's one lame thing, but that's like power rankings. That would be like if like Brad Stevens took the mic and was like, "Don't boo Kyrie," because Kawhi dicked them around for a season, wouldn't play, and then like essentially forced his way out. Like he did win Finals MVP. So
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying, if any coach gets a free pass to do one whack thing, it is Greg Popovich. If there is anybody who gets,
I'll tell you what. If I'm a San Antonio nursing home, my ears perked up.
You're fucking dick. Rest of the league. Magic still winning. They've won 7 in a row now. They're beasts. Nets have won 3 in a row.
Of Orlando being a competitive team.
Kind of fun. Nets have won 3 in a row now. They're turning it around. Heat have lost 3 in a row, so they just can't decide what they want.
Nets,
to do.
by the way, earned my respect. I was rooting for them obviously. I was rooting for them yesterday like it was 2014. Like Garnett and Pierce were on the team. I was like, oh man. I mean, honestly, I meant to do this earlier. As a Celtics fan, should the Nets be your second favorite team just out of respect? You got to think about it. Think about it.
Grizzlies.
They gave you Grizzlies. They gave you a team to root for while you were rebuilding for one season with Pierce and Garnett on that team. They gave you Tatum and Brown, pretty much, essentially gave you them. They not only that, but they sucked for years and years, and they were fun to root against. Then they took Kyrie, and that was a dumpster fire, and you beat them in the playoffs. And now they just helped you move on in the first ever in-season tournament.
Yeah.
Maybe you should be a Nets fan. Like just be like, that's just like next time I do my hater power rankings, they may have some points there.
Yeah, definitely. It's weird because like there are a few teams in the league now. I don't want to say few, but like it was so easy to hate the Sixers last year because of James Harden, right? Do you know what I'm saying?
You need help?
I don't. Well,
I don't
like.
teams?
Well, my point is, I like Tyrese Maxey, right? Like, I don't.
They have.
I mean,
Nick
Embiid's
Nurse.
annoying to
Move
play.
on. Next,
Nick Nurse is fine.
With another team.
I still don't love the Bucks, but like,
Dame's
whatever.
a rat.
Sure.
Thanasis is a rat. Brooke Lopez always plays better than he should play.
I don't know. I've never been good at hating. Anyways, Grizzlies still bad. 3-13, bad.
Prayers for Grizzlies.
Top of the West is weird. Timberwolves are 13-4. They're still good. Thunder lost 2 in a row. Still 11-6 though. Lakers just lost.
I wonder what's caused them to lose 2 in a row. Anything happen? Technically not yet. No, they haven't found anything yet. They are looking.
Well,
for
Andrew Bogut dropped some heat. I'll show you after. But any other
I heard about this. We don't have to talk about it. I did hear.
Any other standings things that I missed? You think?
Suns
have won 7 in a row.
Update.
Devin Booker's on a heater. Oh, Houston is meh. Houston has lost 1 in a row. They're 8-7, so they're like middle of the
Okay, so we technically didn't talk rest of the in-season tournament. So of course, Monday night Celtics Pacers 7:30. Late game, Pelicans at Kings. Happy to see the Kings advance. They're another team that's like kind of a fun team to support, just because they've literally been dog shit for forever. Then Bucks Knicks in the who would you rather play bowl. Yeah. And then you have the 7 in a row Suns with the chance to do the Lord's work and beat the Lakers.
Let me ask you
I've seen enough of the LeBron in-season tournament MVP circle jerk. Earn my respect, Phoenix.
If the Celtics were guaranteed to win, would you want the Lakers to make it all the way to the finals just so the Celtics could beat them? Okay. Well, because I think you tweeted about this earlier, like Adam Silver would lose his fucking mind if it was Celtics Lakers in the first in-season tournament.
Oh, I didn't tweet that, but whoever
Someone
did.
Right. Someone did.
I tweeted that Adam Silver will pay for his crimes when I saw that they laid out. By the way, rest in piss court. Never have to see it again, hopefully.
You would get hyped for that game, though, if it was Celtics Lakers. You'd be like, they better fucking win this game.
Probably, well, I don't know. We'll be there. Yeah. See, we only have tickets to the semi, which is, I still stand by as a smart decision because the Celtics don't make it. I don't really want to go to the final.
Sure, it's fine.
But also, like, you know what we should have done is just bought tickets to all of it and then sold them if we didn't want to.
Yeah. I could go as media still if they make it, which I need to decide if I'm doing that or not. But.
Oh, all right. Huh.
I'm just saying they sent me an email and I didn't do it yet because I didn't know what we were
Fuck
doing.
me.
Yes.
Shout out
what I
Frank
wanted to
with
ask
the
you,
Frank line. Fuck me, right?
of all these teams outside of Boston, if you had to pick one, who would you want to win the in-season tournament most? You know, it'd be fire.
Tyrese Halliburton Bowl.
I was gonna say Pacers Kings would be fun. It's super fun.
Yeah, except the league would have a fucking aneurysm like their Nate Bach.
What would be the worst finals? Not for you. Like, don't say, oh, it's the Lakers Bucks. It'd be fucking lame.
Lakers Knicks would be the worst for me.
Yes, but for the league, if you're the league, what is the last thing you want to see in the season?
Pelicans Pacers.
That's what I was gonna say too. No one would fucking give a shit. Oh, what did this? Matt, it's Pelicans Pacers. Imagine they just like sell no fucking tickets. No one shows up.
Adam
Zion
puts in the fix.
It's like Zion rest. Tyrese Halliburton doesn't.
Well, wait till Zion gets his hands on some in and out. That's a good little wrinkle to those that are bettors.
Yeah, man. All right. Next thing we have Klay Thompson is sad. He's upset.
This has been going on for a while. The Klay thing.
Yeah, so Klay still doesn't have an extension. He can be extended at any time. Kendra Andrews of ESPN said sources said contract negotiations have been, quote, weighing on Thompson over the first month of the season. People have noticed he's been more frustrated, all this stuff. Blah, blah, blah. The Warriors have been struggling themselves. They are currently, let me switch to the tab here, 8-10 on the season, 2-8 in the last 10.
Eyeballs.
So not very good. Just kind of a weird situation though, right? Like you have to assume he'll get extended, but like it's not guaranteed.
Not weird.
I guess, so
you want an extension? Don't suck. Klay sucks. Klay's washed. As of November 29, 2023, Klay has been washed. He's had a plethora of leg injuries. As a professional athlete, it's hard to come back from that. Like you have to be at such a high physical level to compete. Sometimes you just don't recover. It happens to guys.
I mean, he was great the past 2 years. He's struggling to start this year, but he
sucked last year in the playoffs too.
Yeah, he struggled a little bit.
He can't defend at a high level anymore. Like Klay's lost a step.
Yeah, I mean, you understand why he'd be mad that not have an extension because like Draymond got the extension, all this stuff. He's been with the franchise.
Draymond also like kind of sucks. Draymond is like leaning into sucking too. He's getting like. He's only in the news when he like wants to fight somebody now.
Maybe the Warriors he's shooting 46% from 3 this season, Draymond.
Draymond?
What the fuck? Yeah.
Good for Draymond. I mean, I still like Draymond. Like I respect his fire and I think a lot of his like assaults are kind of funny, but I don't know. Like Draymond is just like a strange player. Like I don't really think Draymond is going to be super effective if he's not with the Warriors, which is not necessarily a knock on him. He's just so like glued together with those guys to where they know each other so well, and he's so much more effective.
How fucking crazy is it that Steph Curry is still averaging 30 points on like 44% shooting from deep? That dude's fucking, it's so nuts. Dude, he's taking 12.
Shooting is the last thing to go, like when you get old. So
he's taking
I think he's
12,
aged really well.
He's taking over 12 threes a game.
Yeah. I like Steph.
Nuts. Shout out Steph. He's a beast. You know who's struggling? I've seen that Andrew Wiggins has been struggling. They're mad at him. He's averaging 13 on 27% shooting from deep.
Yeah,
where was that in the finals?
I saw reports that like people are heated that he missed so much time, and they just say he never got back in shape after he was gone for 2 months.
Yeah.
You know what would have ruled is if Andrew Wiggins was out of shape in the finals.
Yeah, I just said that. Imagine, dude, it would have been great. Speaking of the Warriors, though, they're not going to be out. Gary Payton II for a little while too. He is out indefinitely. Per Shams Shams said Payton has suffered a torn right calf and will be sidelined indefinitely. This sucks. Like you have nothing as much as Celtics fans can be mad at the Warriors beating the Celtics in the finals, but like nothing against Gary Payton. He's a good player and he's dealt with a ton of injuries throughout the years. It sucks that he's gonna miss this much time again. He's missed a lot of time in recent years. Indefinitely is awful. Like that sucks. So feel bad for Gary Payton.
It's a mess.
Speaking of the injuries, LaMelo Ball, which we referenced earlier, is out. He has an ankle injury. I forget exactly what the injury is. Richie Randall of the sprain. Okay, I think it's the same ankle that kept him out for the majority of last season too.
Ooh.
Richie Randall of the Buzzbeat pod, he covers the Hornets closely. He tweeted out, this is the same thing that I was told about. It's probably going to be about 3 to 4 weeks. A lot of time for the Hornets to be without LaMelo Ball, especially considering LaMelo Ball. Yes, LaMelo Ball has been playing fucking insane over the past X amount of weeks. It wasn't just that Celtics game. Over the past 4 games, he's averaged 28 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds, 50% from the field, 46.5% from 3 on 11 threes a game. He's been balling. So sucks that he's going to miss this time now. Unfortunate. Last NBA thing. Mark Cuban sold the Mavs, which is something I never thought I'd read. However, the weird part about this, so he bought the Mavs for I think like 285. How much did
285 million?
Cuban? Yeah, okay. So he bought the Mavs for 285 million in 2000, and now he sold his majority share for 3.5 billion.
Inflation,
like crazy.
It's only worth 300 million last year, then or 4 years ago. Then COVID happened.
What do you mean 4 years ago?
Like the joke is it's a bad joke. Explain.
I thought you said I thought I said the year wrong, and I was confused. Anyways,
No.
Sham said Mark Cuban is selling the majority stake of the Mavericks to the Adelson family in a valuation of 3.5 billion. One of the most unique setups in basketball history. Cuban keeps shares in the team and full control of basketball operations. So basically,
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So basically, Mark Cuban is like, I'll sell you the majority share, but I'm still going to do the shit. And they're like, sure. And so he's just like kind of going to do the same shit, but he's a lot fucking richer, which is kind of hype for Mark Cuban. And I'm glad because Mark Cuban stays around the league and Mark Cuban's fun. So
I did have a punchline set up. I was just saying, well, that's what Kyrie will do to you, but he's sticking around, so it's kind of irrelevant.
He is. Yeah. No, he's sticking around. I like Mark Cuban, though. He's fun.
Cuban's fine. Good owner. He shows up.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say like mean things.
Yeah. Fuck it. Okay. Want to jump into the rat list?
Yeah.
You want to start?
Yeah, I'll start. First and foremost is oh my gosh, I had like a quick one and I completely lost it. I don't want to burn the one I have. Stand by.
Oh God, disaster.
Please just go first while I think about this. I'm sorry.
You came in so hot too. You're fucking ready.
I had it. And I lost it. I'm sorry.
I'll do a quick one. I was driving to my aunt's house. Left dogs out today. Whatever. Someone pulled out in front of me, so I had to put on my brakes, and then they proceeded to go like the speed limit or below the speed limit. Like, if you're gonna go through the effort of pulling out in front of me, at least go fast, right? And no, they didn't give me a choice. It's not like I let them go. Like they just pulled out in front of me. Rat list. Yeah.
So rat list in your area, do they have like exits from lots or wherever, right, onto a main road that there's a stop sign and it's like kind of it's like a veer right. It's like a veer right into the right, like it's essentially like a right on red.
Sure.
So at the gym I play basketball, there is a stop sign like that is essentially an exit for those going with the traffic. And then there is a light that takes you anywhere else you want to go.
Yeah.
I'm leaving today. Someone's turned left at the stop sign. Now, the Stop and Shop near me has one of these, says no left turn left all the time.
Yeah.
You know why? Because it's not busy. This is a very busy road right next to the airport. So I had to sit there and wait while they waited for an opening to turn across all the lanes when I could have just like took a right out of the lot. Terrible. Rat list.
Agree with the rat list. I had one. Oh, rat list, the T. The green line shut down for like 2 weeks. The whole green line, like the entire green line in Boston is just like, yeah, sorry, we got stuff to do. We're just not good. Not today. Sorry. Like if you look at the website, green line, schedules, etc. I'll read it to you. Green Line service will be suspended from North Station to Babcock Street, Kenmore, and Heath Street from November 27th to December 3rd. Use buses instead. Now, this didn't directly affect me.
Get ready. They should just send out a get ready to take the bus, buddy. Adam Silver.
Yeah. So I can just, like, for the purpose of me using the Green Line, I can just use the Orange Line instead because I just use it to get to the Red Line, which takes me home. So it's not like the end all be all for me, but just like you are shutting down like a fourth of your biggest transportation system for a week. What? How are you this bad? Like, how is this like a thing that can happen for you guys? Like that doesn't make any sense. Like all the people that use that for work, sorry, bus, walk, Uber, like
work from home.
Right?
Actually, W.
No, that's nuts, dude. Fuck that.
That's the equivalent of the road work during the day, I think.
Yeah.
For the train.
Yeah.
Ratless Sports Illustrated.
Yes. Good Ratless.
Ratless Sports Illustrated. If you don't know, Sports Illustrated for a little while now has been using AI instead of actual writers to publish articles on their website. They legit made up people that were authors, and it was actually just AI.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of actually paying people like hardworking men like Jack and I, they used robots. And then there are people that are like, no, AI is not bad. I raised you a Chris Broussard.
Yeah, it's bad.
It is bad. I mean, do people not watch movies? Has this ever gone well? Like,
shit, man.
What is the end goal with AI? Is it to, at the very least, everyone's going to be unemployed? Like, as much as the prospect of sitting at home all day sounds awesome, like, you do need money. And at the very worst, they just want to take over the world. And I'm not a conspiracy guy.
No,
I actually typically don't care about anything. But AI, I just can't believe is a real thing. And it's like everyone's like kind of going along with it. They're like, yeah, okay. I'm sure somebody like in our comments will know about it, be like, you're overreacting, but you're a moron if you think that this isn't going to be a problem. Well, Sam, they thought the internet would be a problem. I wasn't alive then.
I'm trying to think. I had a couple small ones. Ratlist banks. I had to go to the bank again today. It's just a pain in the ass. Like Ratless having to do any like.
I just thought of our pre-show conversation.
Yeah, don't. Like so, I had like the day off today. Celtics didn't have practice. Celtics didn't have a game. I got to chill, but I had to then go to the bank because of like this previous thing, and it just like was just something I didn't want to do that I had to do in the middle of my day, which was annoying. So Ratless that. I got food the other night. I'll Ratless this too. I got a burger.
This when you got home from the game?
Yeah, so I got a burger, but the entire like outside of the burger was like charred. So like I don't know if that's just how they sell it, but like it was just gross. Like it just didn't taste good. Like I was biting into fucking like char the whole time. Like Ratless to anybody who enjoys like char burger, like we'll put the char. It's gross. You're eating like dirt. Like why? I don't understand why that's a likable feature of food. It's not food. It's fucking bad. Like you ruined the food. Like I don't
There's
get
certain things like a little char is not bad. You don't want to burn to the crisp anything, but like
it was bad, man.
You like a nice crunch. Maybe not.
No. Crunch, sure, not char. You mask the entire taste of it. Ouch. It's bad. So bad. Yeah. Ratless that.
Ratless some guy at my job.
Okay. Oh, wait a second.
So yesterday, and this isn't like a serious rat list. Well, it is a serious rat list, but like I'm not like
sure.
You'll see.
Yeah.
So yesterday at my job does like a lot of nice things for people that work at our company. Like a couple of women in our department are due to have children soon, so they had like a surprise baby shower for them. To which I messaged my work friend and was like, how funny it would be if they surprised them into shock, into labor. But that's neither here nor there. So anyways, we're sitting at a table. There's like a little like line to get snacks. They have like fruit cups, cookies. Love snacks. They love it. They had chips and dip. You could get little drinks. So anyways, I get up. I go get in line. Leave my bottle of seltzer at the seat. Right? Everyone else I'm with gets up. Somebody that was in line sits at my chair. Do you not see the bottle, buddy? What do you think? It was just there when the building opened today?
Yeah.
I just left it there for my health. Yeah, you sit there. So what did I do? As the pussy I am, I just pulled up a different chair and sat next to it.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. It sucks and it's whack, but that's the only decision. That's really all you can do in that situation. I don't know if I have anything else. I think that might be it for me. You got anything else?
That was my closer, so I was hoping you didn't have anything.
Yeah, I didn't have anything. I think we can wrap there. Yeah. All right. Thank you all for tuning in to How About Them Celtics. We appreciate you. Make sure to subscribe. If you have us on your Spotify Wrapped, drop it in the comments. Tweet at us, all that stuff. Tweet us.
Maybe we'll do something with that.
How about them?
Do something with it. We won't.
Follow us on socials, all that good stuff. Leave us a review on
I
Apple.
Still have the deodorant.
Leave us 5 stars. Sam still does have the deodorant. Subscribe to How About Them Celtics. We appreciate you, and I'll let Sam wrap it up.
Hey, thank you very much for listening or watching. If you're watching, make sure you subscribe to the YouTube page. Leave a like. Comment what's popping. You want to win the popcorn. Nate told you. He said it's fire. Not coming from our mouths. It's coming from him. His email. I hope he's okay with his aneurysm. You can also hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of our daily uploads or our pregame streams. We'll be back live Friday before the Sixers game, a big one. So you want to come hang out with us before the game. You can find us on Spotify and Apple too, if you just like the audio ones. They're there anytime there's a full pod, anytime there's a game recap. They'll be in your feed as long as you follow. Leave a nice 5-star review. No longer asking. You can find us on socials at How About Them C's. They have been popping. We're active. Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, shorts going up across all of them. Videos from Jack's excursions, clips from the show. It's all there. You can email us at the Gmail, HBTC pod. This is a new part for me. It's an adjustment. All right. Email hbtcpod@gmail.com. You can get in on the email what's poppin' segment. You can say what's poppin' there. Nate did it. You should do it. RJ always does it. You should do it. It's a lot of fun. You can follow Jack on Twitter at JackSimoneNBA. You can follow me at Sam LaFrance NBA. That's it for us, guys.
Tic-tac.